Good morning and welcome to Seattle Unity Sunday Service. I'm thrilled to see you. And guess what? Can you hear the thing? Do you hear what I hear? Because this is Jesse Whitford is here on drums today. We're very excited about that. Also, you'll see David and Olivia are here and a brand new first-time artist with us. This is Catherine Van Weber. Yeah! You're going to hear more from her later. She's going to do like a Beyonce song. She's awesome. And also today, after a hiatus, we have Alexandria Davis back and also Andrea Carino. Very, very excited about the music that's happening in here today, and I hope that you make space to take it all in, participate as much as possible. Let's start with this one. It goes like this. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Try that one. Oh, oh, I got to let go if I want to fly. Good, let's all do that again. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Push the furniture back and move a little. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Oh, 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 I got to let go if I want to fly. Second part goes like this. Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. 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 Sing hallelujah. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Let your spine go. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Oh, oh, I got to let go if I want to fly. Do it again. Oh, 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 I got to let go. Got to let it go. Yeah. Oh, 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 I got to let go. Oh, oh, I got to let go if I want to fly. Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. 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 Sing hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Let us pray.
And so we open our minds and hearts to the presence, the power, and the activity of God that moves in and through us now and always. So let us affirm together, there is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence.
From this quiet place, let's sing it again, the oh, I gotta let go, and use it as whatever kind of a prayer you need to use it as. You can use it as a message to someone who's not here, or a message from the voice within to yourself. Really personalizing what it is you feel like you might want to let go. Let's try it together. Ready? Oh, oh, I got to let go. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Yeah. Oh, oh, I got to let go if I want to fly. A little louder, like you've really let it go. Oh, 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 I got to let go. Shake it down now. Oh, oh, I got to let go. Yeah. Oh, oh, I got to let go if I want to fly. Let's sing it quiet. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Excellent. Please be seated.
Good morning and welcome to Seattle Unity live stream service. If you have a prayer request, I invite you to type it in the chat box during the service and we will bless you at the end of the service. So let's turn now to our mission statement, which is, we are a welcoming spiritual community thriving in the heart of Seattle, celebrating, inspiring, and deepening our individual and collective spiritual journeys. And it is so. I want to invite you to attend the fellowship hour following the service. We'll be on Zoom. The link can be found on the website under events. Also letting you know the annual meeting is coming up February 20th. And we will be in person next week. So just letting you know, we're going to open it up for registration and hope to see your beautiful faces here next Sunday. So that said, let us see our announcements.
Hey, let's do another sing-along together. This will be high energy, but we want to start it by really breaking down that lyric. And Alexandria Davis is going to give us the rubato intro. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life, I am blessed, 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 blessed. When I wake up in the morning, when I lay my head to rest, I am blessed. I am blessed. in a comfortable place. Hopefully you can feel the breath moving. And we get this high energy that we are then going to use a few techniques to focus into full body openness to the messages from within and from the divine. We are entering a more contemplative part of the service soon, which will have in it a beautiful sound meditation from Andrea Carino and her bowls. And in order to get there, we're going to use a chant. Those chants help regulate your breath. And this one is based on a meditation called Creating True Peace. That's from Thich Nhat Hanh, who, as many of you already know, made a transition this week. He was 94, Vietnamese monk, Buddhist monk, who had deep influence on many people in the New Thought movement. This prayer lyric is breathing in, I'm open. Breathing out, I smile. We do that a few times, and then we may change it to breathing in, I listen, or breathing in, I hear you. But the ending is always breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I'm open. Breathing in, I'm open. Breathing out, I smile. And I listen. Breathing in, I listen.
up because you're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. Not just a speck in the universe, not just some words in a Bible verse. You are the living word. You're part of something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than we, bigger than the picture they framed us to see. But now we see it. It ain't no secret, no. Understand that truth about that question in your soul. Look up, don't look down, then watch the answers unfold. Life is your birthright, they hit that in the fine print. Take the pen and rewrite it. Step in your excellence, step in your essence, and know that you're excellent. Rise, I'm not just preaching, I'm taking my own advice. Let mama let you know, mama's still trying. I don't get no days off, don't get no days off. Truly I'm feeling it, I had to say that thing twice. Trying to be a good wife, still really hard, I can't lie. I promise you I will fight, so I'll fight. If you're feeling frustrated and sinking, I'm jumping in. Forgiveness is key because you're fighting something way bigger. You're fighting something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than we, than the picture they framed us to see, yeah. Oh, you're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than we, bigger than the picture they framed us to see, yeah. Oh, you're part of something way bigger. Yeah. Oh, let love be the water, pour into you as you pour into me. There ain't no drought here. Bloom into our actual powers. I'll be your sanctuary. You just don't know yet. You just don't know yet. No matter how hard it gets, you're gonna rise. You're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. Bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than the picture they framed us to see, yeah. Ooh, ooh, oh. You're part of something way bigger. You're part of something way bigger. You'll never lose, we are winners. Bigger than you, bigger than we, bigger than the picture they framed us to see, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. We're part of something way bigger. Oh, oh. We're part of something way bigger.
Thank you. So this year, our theme is the tree of life. And like all life, it begins with a seed. And on January 6th or January 9th, we planted seeds of intention during the white stone ceremony. So if you missed this, I invite you to go back and watch it, because I think it's an important ritual to practice, and it's a great way to, again, set the intention for the year. So for those who have chosen a word that sets the intention, I invite you to consider that the word that you chose is like a seed that you have planted. And like any seed, in order for it to grow, it needs good soil, it needs water, it needs light. And so it is with your intention. It needs to be nurtured in order for it to break through the shell and take root. So in this first month of our study of the Tree of Life, let's imagine that we're breaking the seed. And the shell of that seed can represent our limitations. So one of the reasons that you chose the word that you did is because you wanted to break through your limitations, right? And it came to you for a reason, because it's the next step in your area of growth. So I invite you to nurture the seed, let it be rooted, let it grow down so that it can be firmly planted. And at the end of this year, you can look back and see how you may have mastered it. So, again, in the case of the seed, once the shell is cracked, for the first couple of days, a single root grows down the soil. So I was on YouTube, and I was looking at the different plant growth, right? And so there was a bean seed, and it cracked. But the first thing it did is it sent a root all the way down, straight down. It didn't move, didn't do anything else. It just sent a root straight down into the center of the earth. And it did this for 5 days. And then on the 5th day, it grew side roots. So it was growing down, and then it was growing to the side. And only then, on day 6, did it start to shoot up and go toward the sky. And then on the 7th day, it broke through the soil. So I think this analogy can be used for us too in comparing the word that we wrote again for 2022, because if the word is like a seed, and the seed can't be fully formed right away because it has to be anchored, it has to be nurtured, it has to be rooted. So I invite you, one way to do this is to look for words and look for opportunities to practice the word. So if your word is courage, for instance, rather than try something big and gigantic where you're demonstrating courage, why not practice courage in small ways? Or if your word is surrender, why not practice daily surrendering in small ways so that when the big surrender comes, it's easier? Because every little step nurtures the seed of the word, and it helps it root so that it can break through the surface. So again, when a plant grows, it doesn't just shoot up, it grows down. And spiritually, we grow from spirit into body and into the earth. Now, the Kabbalah is called the Tree of Life, and it's like a map that illustrates how one works their way down from spirit into manifestation. And so the different steps are called sephiras. And the very top of the Kabbalah, the first sephira, is the source, or Keter. And it represents the crown. It represents the unlimited. It represents the creative impulse. And so just as the plant grows down, just as the word grows down, so the soul grows down. In the Book of Splendor, basic readings from the Kabbalah, Gershom Shalom describes it this way. At the same time, the Holy One, be blessed, was about to create the world, he decided to fashion all the souls which would in due course be dealt out to the children of men. And each soul was formed into the exact outline of the body she was destined to tenant. Go now, descend into this and this place, into this and this body. Yet often enough the soul would reply, Lord of the world, I'm content to remain in this realm, and I have no wish to depart to some other, where I shall be in thraldom and become strained. Whereupon the Holy One, be blessed, would reply, thy destiny is and has been from the day of the forming to go into the world. Then the soul, realizing it could not disobey, would unwillingly descend and come into the world. So not only is the soul born, but it takes with it knowledge of a creative impulse. It takes with us knowledge of an unlimited potential. So James Hillman, in the book The Soul's Code, he compares it to an acorn. And he said that you're born with a character, and it is given a gift from the guardians upon your birth. The Romans called it genius, the Greeks your daimon, and the Christians call it your guardian angel. The acorn theory holds that each person bears a uniqueness that asks to be lived and that is already present before it is lived. And I want to say that again. The acorn theory holds that each person bears a uniqueness that asks to be lived that is already present before it can be lived. So something is already there within you before you even have lived it. He said a calling may be postponed. It may be avoided. It may be intermittently missed. It also may possess you completely. So I think he covers all the bases there, right? Because it's like, okay, well, it can be postponed, can be avoided, can be intermittently missed, but then it also could possess me. I think it can come as a feeling of like the hair standing on the back of your neck, or it's a feeling that everything is right, even if it's only for a split second. It can show up as an interest that you can't let go of throughout your life. My step-granddaughter has always baked, and she doesn't like get a cake mix, or she doesn't like follow recipes. She just creates cakes, and they're really good, and she's been doing this since she was very young. And I remember talking to her one day, and I said, you know, you should go to like chef school or baking school or something, and get a degree in culinary arts. And she said, I had no idea that that was even possible. And I said, yeah. So she was going to do it, and then COVID hit, and then the whole thing got sideways and sidetracked. And now she's thinking about going into real estate. And the truth is, that may be so, but she'll never stop baking cakes. I know she won't. When she comes back and visits, it's the first thing she does is she starts baking. And somehow it's a part of who she is, and it's one of the gifts that she brings. And the truth is, we each have this special genius within us when we are born. We all have it. And if that's the case, then how come we lose sight of it? Why don't we remember? Why don't we know? Well, in the Jewish tradition, there is a story about an angel named Layla, and apparently she sits down the soul and shares the Torah and all the mysteries of the universe, including your beginning and end and your calling, and then you're all ready to be born, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. And then just before you go, she touches this spot. It's called a philtrum, right above your lip, and says, now you must forget. Now you must forget. So ever notice when you can't remember anything, you kind of go, well, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. I'll figure it out. So we forget. And yet, something remains, a glimmer, a vision. If you're a writer, you may have been fascinated with writing materials when you were little, even if you couldn't write. If you're a baker, maybe you were fascinated with cake pans, even though you couldn't bake. When the violinist Yehudi Menuhin was 3 years old, he went to his first concert, his first violin concert, and heard a violin solo, and it did something to him. And he said to his parents, I want a violin for my 4th birthday. Now, he's a little guy, right? He's little. And so a family friend, gave him for his birthday a toy violin that was metal with metal strings, and he saw this, and he took it, and he threw it, and he smashed it, and threw a tantrum, and cried. And Hillman says the vision was full-sized to match the music in his mind. He had to have what he wanted because, he said, I did know instinctively that to play was to be. So he was little, but he had this vision of something that he had to have, and the substitute the toy wasn't going to make it. When Judy Garland was 2, she saw the Blues Sisters. They were sisters ages 5 to 12, and they were singing on stage. And she's 2 years old, and she looked at her father, and she said, "Can I do that, Daddy? Can I do that?" And you can see that this singer and this dancer was already there at the age of 2. So how do we embrace our heart's image, our calling, our genius, the acorn, the seed within us, and bring it into the world? How do we do that? Well, just as the seed grows down, again, so does the soul. And Hillman says that the heart's image requires effort of attachment to every sort of anchoring circumstance, whether these anchors be the loyalty of friends, the stability of contracts, the reliability of health, the schedules of the clock, the face of geography. Sounds like life, doesn't it? It's like, the drudgery of life. And yet he said that is what anchors the soul so that we can then express those gifts and talents that we have. So the thing that we may have resisted at birth is what we need most, and that is to grow down. Now he said there's 4 ways of growing down, and the first is obviously through the body when we're born. And that means we accept gravity, we accept the process of aging, and all that comes with being in the body. The second way we grow down is through our parents. Now, he said that's your ancestral tree, it's your ancestors, and he said, and it counts even if the branches on your tree are broken and rotting. You know, even that is part of what brings us into this world, what brings us down. The third is our place, where we live, how we are inspired by the place that we live, but it's also the circumstances of our place. In other words, it's the rituals, it's the culture, it's the duties that we may have in being a citizen or a part of a place. And then the fourth is circumstance. And that is, how do we give back that genius? How do we give back that gift that we have been given? Maybe we bake a cake for birthdays. That's one of the ways we give back. Or we write a poem, or we write a song. We show up in some way, right? So without this, we have a gift, but we're unable to live in a healthy and grounded way. And again, Judy Garland is an example of this, because when she sang, particularly Over the Rainbow, she took people to another place. And it was her gift that she was able to take people to another place. But that lifestyle destroyed her, right? Because she was living the Hollywood life of making movie after movie and dancing and singing and taking pills and this crazy schedule. And what happened was she was so possessed, if you will, by her genius and her gift that she was unable to grow down and be grounded and do normal things like cook a meal, take care of kids, those kinds of things. And Hillman says the vertical dimension stretched between hellish suffering and heavenly miracles, unable to settle into a flat level of the daily world. I know that sounds kind of boring, but the truth is we have the highs and the lows, and we are on this plane, right, for a reason. I've heard Paul McCartney say that one of the things that saved him was his wife Linda, because she didn't buy into the whole fame and Beatlemania thing, but instead they moved to a little farmhouse in Scotland, like 4 rooms or something, and made him go up on the roof and fix it when it needed to be fixed instead of calling somebody. And it grounded him and it rooted him so that he was able to still bring his gift to the world, but not get lost or possessed by it so that he was no good to himself or anyone else. So what is your daimon? What is the seed or acorn that is within you? What is the image, your heart's image, that occasionally possesses you? Something that you haven't been able to get away from, what interest has carried you through your life, and it won't let go of you. When I was reading different stories about this, one curious thing is that those who fully express their genius were not always in ideal circumstances. In other words, they didn't have parents who were like, yeah, you're so great. I can see what you can do, right? And so sometimes it's also in the face of adversity that we find our calling, because again, our calling, the daimon, won't be thwarted. And a mentor can show up in the form of a grandparent or a friend or a neighbor or a teacher. Elia Kazan had an 8th grade teacher who saw something in him. She wrote to him later. She said, you know, when you were only 12, you stood near my desk one morning, and the light from the window fell across your head and features and illuminated the expression on your face. And the thought came to me of the great possibilities that were in your development. So she saw his potential in that moment, and then she served as a mentor to him to call out his gifts. In Unity, we call this beholding the Christ. When we see the ultimate creative potential, when we see that seed of perfection. So has anyone served that purpose for you, or have you served that purpose for anyone else? So again, we are in the process of growing down by bringing spirit and soul into form. That's why we're here. And the word that you chose for 2022, your intention, is to help you break through your limitations and set and take the next step. So I invite you to nurture this seed, let it be rooted and grow, so that it can be firmly planted. So at the end of 2022, you look back on that and go, yep, I aced that. I got it. I did courage. I did surrender. I did whatever that is that you called forth. So we're going to continue, obviously, with this theme. And for the next 2 weeks, we have guest speakers. James Tierney will speak next week, and then Rabbi Olivier will be speaking on February 13th. Again, I invite you to come in person, because we're opening back up again. I am going to the yoga retreat to meditate and fast and be quiet so that I can nurture my my soul and my inner calling. So as we prepare to close, I'd like to ground and root this in with a prayer. So, and part of this prayer is from Rabbi Ted Falcon. I have stepped into the safe confinement of my limitations, but I am ready to break through this seed. I am filled with exactly the energies I need as I begin my journey toward greater purpose and meaning, because I was born to a unique purpose. And I am willing to break through my limitations and be who I have come here to be. So I welcome this deep loving kindness that naturally supports my growing. And so just for a minute, I invite you, again, if you've chosen a word for the year, to hold that intention and just see it breaking through and roots going straight down and to the side. And that is the process that you are in right now before it comes up toward the light. It is for this awareness that we give thanks in the name and through the power of the living Spirit of truth, and it is so. Amen.
This is a song by Miss Lauren Hill. Ooh, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Everything is everything. is meant to be will be. After winter must come spring. Change, it comes eventually.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
After winter must come spring.
Must come spring.
Everything is everything.
I wrote these words for everyone who struggles in their youth.
Bring it down, girl.
Who won't accept deception instead of what is true. It seems we lose the game before we even start to play. Who made these rules? We're so confused, easily led astray. Let me tell you that everything is everything. Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
After winter
must
come spring.
Must come spring.
Everything is everything. Yeah.
Sometimes it seems we touch that dream, but things come slow or not at all. And the ones on top won't make it stop. Too afraid that they will fall. Let's love ourselves, and we can't fail to make a better situation. Tomorrow, our seeds will grow. All we need is dedication.
Come on. Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
After winter
must
come spring.
must come spring.
Everything is everything. Come on, Jesse. Yeah. Come on now.
Let me tell you that
Everything is everything.
everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything. After winter must come spring.
Everything is
Everything is everything is everything.
Everything is
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
Everything is everything. After winter
Must come spring.
must come spring.
Everything is everything.
Everything.
Thank you. All right. So now we come to that time in our service where we share our tithes and our love offerings. So we invite you to give. One of the easiest way is through texting at 206-350-8448. You can also give through the website. Again, however you give in whatever form, thank you so much. And so we bless our offering with I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude. And it is so. Amen. Okay, so let's take a moment to bless others. And so I invite you to raise your consciousness by moving to your heart, top of your head, the point between your eyebrows. And we begin by holding Matthew in the center of the circle. He just made his transition. So we bless his soul, knowing that life does not end, but merely transmutes, and we bless him on his journey. And we hold those who survive him for Maggie, Margie, and Michael, and may they be comforted by the presence of love. We hold in our prayers also Kathleen and Mike, Diane and her family. We see the highest and best outworking for Amy and Becky, for Pat and Anita and Jim. We're taking a deep breath and we bless Alex, the Kimbra family, and Andy, for Lee and Arlene, for Katie and Ellie. We see that spirit of light going before Judy and Len and Dick. And that spirit infuses the life and body of Donna and her family, of Doris, of Nakoma and Angie. Anyone else who may come to your mind, I invite you to hold that person now in your mind and heart. May all beings be free from danger. May all beings have mental happiness. May all beings have physical happiness. And may all beings have ease of well-being. For the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. See you on Zoom.
Oh, I miss him so much.
Let's do a closing song together. This is Karen Drucker's setting of the Metta Meditation. It's also known as Loving Kindness. If you know it, you'll know we go from I to you to we to all. So it's a growing prayer that starts small. And if you don't know it, you will have it in you by the end of the 4 times through. Use it right now to start with blessing yourself, but have some recipients in mind of who needs this blessing. Start with may I. May I be filled with loving kindness.